Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Etcetera with the Woodards. I am your host for the evening, Craig Woodard Sr., and joining me in just a little bit is my co-host, Deontay Cooling. He is on the way home from bowling. Don't know if he won or not, but we will get a live report when he logs in. Do you like the new look? So we got the blue and the yellow background. I wonder if you all know what that stands for and why I chose blue and yellow. Well, it is Down Syndrome Awareness Month, the whole month of October, and we've been busy all month long, just spreading awareness and sharing different fun facts for everybody. I also got my Halloween music on here too because October 31st is coming up pretty soon. Let's put a pause to that really quick. I don't know if it drives Deontay crazy, but we got the blue and yellow background. I'm gonna keep that on for the entire show here. And as I stated, we have some really good things going on right now through the Down Syndrome Association of Tampa Bay. What a busy day we had today. Man, I got to tell you, we had our very first debut of the 321 art class in Pinellas County out in St. Pete today. We have grown to the point where we have expanded, and I'm just simply proud of this accomplishment. I really, truly am, and I got to give credit where credit is due. Number one, our medical outreach director, Todd Van Auken, he has been working on this for this past year, trying to bring this class over to the other side of the bridge, and I'm extremely impressed by his efforts. He made this happen. We got a nice venue out there that has plenty of room. Just keep in mind as well that all of the services that we offer are totally free to all the families, and we love inclusivity. So if you have a child blessed with Down syndrome, other special needs, if they have siblings, please, they're more than welcome to come. If they have a best friend that wants to come to an art class and do some painting and stuff like that and express themselves artistically, please feel free to bring them to our art classes. We have obviously one going on in Hillsborough County, and we've been doing that. We've completed our fourth year for that, and we just started our first year in Pinellas County. So I'm super excited. We had 6 students attend today's class in the debut, and I got to give a shout out to obviously the therapist and the teacher, Zach, Sarah, and Amanda, our speech and occupational therapists, did a fantastic job today. The students had a wonderful time. We have the pictures all posted on the Down Syndrome Association of Tampa Bay Facebook page. Also on my page, Craig Woodard Sr., go check it out. The kids had a really good time. I'm so glad that the first class was successful. Looks like we're going to do this once a month out there. I believe we're going to stick with 2 to 3 p.m. on the third Sunday of every month. And I believe, you can check me if I'm wrong, but I believe the third Sunday of November is November 16th. That would be. So just stay tuned. Look at my Facebook page. Look at the DSATB Facebook page. We will have a flyer up to let you know when the next class is. And as I said, it's totally free. You will have speech therapy there. You will have occupational therapy there. You will be able to watch your child express themselves artistically. And it's just a bundle of fun. Come out for about an hour and let them let loose on paper. It's really, really fun stuff. So I'm glad we're expanding. The reason why we're expanding is because we're getting the attention of a lot more families. We're getting a lot more exposure, and I think we're doing the right things, and so I'm super, super excited about that. Todd, if you're listening, thank you so much for all of your hard work bringing this class to the Pinellas County area. And hey, you never know what will happen in the future as far as expansion is concerned. But I'm very thrilled that we were able to come out to St. Pete and do that today. As I stated, it is Down Syndrome Awareness Month, and that's why we have the blue and yellow banner, as you can see, right around me. And this is pretty cool. I wish I'd have saw this earlier in the month. I'd have had it up here all month, but all good. Better late than never. A couple days left in the month of October, so it is all good. What else did we have going on today? Man, I tell you what, DSAT-B has been very, very busy. I'm going to kind of break some things down for you guys, let you guys know what's going on. So we also had at 4 o'clock, it was from 4 to 5:30 today, at Dancing for a Difference, we had painting pumpkins with DSAT-B. And our dance instructor, our dance director, Sarah Battaglia, who also runs Dancing for a Difference, wanted to host this event, and she had a few students come on out and do some pumpkin painting today. So it was really, really cool to see the smiles on these kids' faces and see how artistic they were with these pumpkins. Again, that is also posted on my Facebook page, along with the Down Syndrome Association of Tampa Bay's Facebook page. So go check it out. Check out the work. 2 different events today. Just a busy, busy month for Down Syndrome Awareness Month. So, Sarah, thank you for your hard work. Thank you for hosting that as well. It was a beautiful thing. A couple other things. So, let's see. Today, I put together and opened up our website, thinking ahead. I'm always thinking ahead. And you know, we just wrapped up our DSAT-B Rise Up for Down Syndrome Gala presented by Zachary Owen on September 13th. And I got such a great response from the location where we had it at, the Tampa River Center, right on the water. The view is incredible. The venue is just beautiful, especially when the sun goes down, the backdrop of the city of Tampa right on the water. It's just gorgeous. So it was a no-brainer for me to reach back out and set this back up for next year. Now, we had it in September, this last month. We got as close to October as we could to celebrate Down Syndrome Awareness Month. However, since I reached out so early this time, I was able to secure October 3rd of 2026. So save the dates, mark your calendars if you're down here in the Tampa Bay area, or if you're going to make a trip down here like my main man Rob Beard did this past month. I really appreciated him coming down. Mary Peterson flew into town and came down to celebrate Down Syndrome Awareness Month with us as well. It was a beautiful thing. So you don't have to live here to come, but be ready to party and eat and drink when you come down, because we're going to get it in. And we do a really good gala every single year, and we're going to have it again at the Tampa River Center. So when I'm done with the podcast, I will be getting on to the website. Right now, tickets are live. They are available. You can click on the link on, let's see, I posted it on my Facebook page. It's also on the Down Syndrome Association of Tampa Bay's Facebook page. It's on my LinkedIn page as well. You can click on the link and get some tickets. We are looking for sponsorship. I have been approached already by a potential sponsor, so I'm looking forward to finding out the answer for them. They also support us with our Down the Bowl event. That's also coming up in March as well. But you know, it's big news down here, and we're doing some really good things, and a lot of people are trying to be a part of what our mission is, and I'm loving it. You know, we have, just to give you an idea of what the night is. So the gala starts at 6 p.m. It's going to be on October 3rd, 2026. We start off with a cocktail party. So you got open bar. We got 4 hours of open bar. We have appetizers as well. And this past gala, we had live piano playing during the cocktail party hour, and it was just beautiful. We have a step and repeat. Our sponsors will get their logo put on the backdrop on the step and repeat, and the pictures that are taken there are just as professional as they can be. I've been posting them throughout the month as well, and I know you guys have been taking a look at a lot of the professional pictures. So we got a 360 photo booth, which sometimes ends up being one of the highlights of the night. These kids love to hop on that thing, man, and make some videos, and they can wear different props and all kinds of stuff. We also have a selfie booth that is ran by We Poppin' Events. They also do the 360 photo booth as well, and they do a great job, and we appreciate them. So that'll go from 6 to 6:45 as far as the cocktail party is concerned. It's meet and greet, people walking around and saying hi to everybody, and then right around 6:45, we will start the actual award ceremony. Okay, and Roxanne Wilder from Tampa Bay's Morning Blend down here on ABC. She's a good friend of the family, and she has been our lifetime MC. She's always MC'd this particular gala, and she loves it. She's coming back, so I have secured her. She'll start the show at 6:45, and what I do is something a little different than some of the other galas that are run down here. We do an award ceremony where we recognize a lot of local advocates, people that just go out of their way to do great things, to advocate for our little kiddos. It's incredible the work that some of these people do, and that's actually how I was able to gain our vice president, Drew Garabo. Drew Garabo is the radio host on 102.5 The Bone for Drew Garabo Live down here, and he's been doing this for quite some time. His nephew Will was blessed with Down syndrome. He lives in Orlando, and Drew has been a huge advocate for Down syndrome and all of those angels, just like his nephew Will. And so we had Drew as our very first Community Advocacy Award winner back in 2019. And I love telling this story too, but Drew came up to me after the gala, the day after, and he said, "Hey, I love your organization. I love what you guys do. The gala was incredible. How can I be more involved? I'd love to join the board of directors." And I said, "Wow." I said, "Well, Drew, I'll tell you what, I have a vice president position wide open and has your name on it." And Drew has been our vice president ever since. And I'm just super thrilled that this guy has joined forces with us. He does a great job. He's always talking about advocacy. He's talking about spreading the word to end the word, the R word. And if you don't know what I'm talking about when I say the R word, look it up. It's an offensive word to individuals with special needs, and the crazy thing is that we have all probably used it back in the day. Yours truly, and then you have a family member or somebody that changes your perspective. And I'm one of those type of people that I understand how things look, if I used that word in the past, and I have used the word in the past years ago when I was young and immature. But you evolve as you get older, and you learn how certain words are just inappropriate and they hurt people's feelings. And I am very, very sensitive to that now, but I do understand where people are coming from. So I have conversations with people all the time. And I'm telling you, I've had conversations at work. I've had a conversation with a former boss of mine. I've had conversations with a former employee of mine, that in that conversation will come out and use the R word. And when I'm talking about the R word, I'm talking about the word retarded. So it's one of those words that's very hurtful and disrespectful. to children and individuals with special needs. And part of our mission is to try to convince people to use another word. There's many, many words in the Webster Dictionary. Why use that one? That one that can be offensive to people. And even if you're not trying to be offensive and it's used, it can still be offensive. And so I've been a super advocate for that for quite some time. And I will continue to be an advocate for that going forward as well. I got Deontay coming in. I'm going to bring him on real quick. I know he's got some things he wants to talk about as well. But yeah, so the use of the R word is just, for me, it's unacceptable. But how I approach people is in a conversation. If I'm talking to someone and someone uses the R word, retarded, while I'm talking to them, I just say, hey man, listen, that word is disrespectful. My son was blessed with Down syndrome. Can you use another word? There's many, many, many words in the Webster Dictionary that people can use. If you can use another word, I'd appreciate it. Continue with your story. And that's how I handle the situation. It's not uncomfortable. You address the situation. I'm not upset. And I can guarantee that probably changes people's lives. And Deontay, I know you're coming in right in the middle of it, and you heard a little bit of what I'm saying about the R word. Your little cousin Craig Jr. is he's something else, man. He's a champ down here, and I'm always an advocate for people refraining from using the R word. I actually last year went to a lot of the TV or the radio stations down here, and I did a radio pledge, and I had a lot of the radio hosts pledge not to A, use that word on their airwaves, and B, not to play music that had the R word in it as well. And it's been pretty successful so far. Do you and this is in Erie, so I'm talking to my cousin Deontay here. I'm down here in Tampa. We have a huge control over being huge advocates down here. I don't know how things are back home. I haven't been there in a long time as far as living there. But D, do you, maybe not in your normal day-to-day conversations, but maybe in casual conversations, do you hear anyone using the R word coming out?
Sometimes, but not often. I have some history working with an individual with intellectual disability.
Okay.
Young man with autism. He was nonverbal.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've been working in the mental health field for quite some time when it comes to working with individuals with intellectual disabilities. While I was in college,
Yes.
did an internship there. I worked at Lakeshore once I graduated. Worked for the public schools. Then I worked for the Barber Center for like 5.5 years. That word it gives me it's kind of like it gives me the eeks, and I address it. And I also like, and I don't know if it's inappropriate of me or not. But I also address people who don't use person first.
Yes,
Like
first person language.
Like an autistic child, or
yes,
you know what I mean. It's more or less like, let's acknowledge the individual first before we try to just categorize them or make them their intellectual disability. So it's not. I think that as far as in Erie, there's a huge community of advocacy for individuals with intellectual disabilities, and the R word around here, through my experience of working, is not tolerated. Now, people do use it out of ignorance.
Yeah.
Sometimes, like I guess I don't even want to call it slang, because again, it's off-putting to me. It turns me off.
Yeah.
But my fault, man. This thing just connected to all that. But yeah, for the most part, though, like I feel like there's a lot of advocacy in Erie for individuals with intellectual disabilities, and that's something that's not tolerated around here either. To my knowledge, based on my working experiences and individuals that I have a history and a working experience with. Then I also worked at Mercyhurst University for 2 years, and they have the AIM program. So they have students up there with autism, and they're into the Intel programs and things like that. So there's a lot of information that was up there at the time, and then working in drug and alcohol. You talk about co-occurring and how it interacts with mental health. So I guess based on my working experiences, and the environments that I've go to and been to, like that's a word that's not tolerated, and you don't hear people using that too often.
That's good to hear, man. That is really awesome to hear because I have not had that conversation with anyone in the Erie area to know how things were up there, and that's great that you have the experience that you have. Been working at the barber center and all of that. I think just makes a person complete because you totally get it, you totally understand, and you know how to handle certain people that speak that word out of ignorance. It's a learning opportunity for them, and I look at it like that as well. I'm not mad at you. I'm just this is a good learning experience, and if I can change that person's perspective, they can change somebody else's perspective. And you hit it on the head when you said people first language. I want to dig into that for a little bit. What Deontay is talking about is you don't want to say this Downs kid or this Down syndrome kid. You don't want to address them that way because you're addressing the disability first and then the child second. You want to say, you know what, y'all can take words right out of my mouth. The way that I always reference this because I know what a blessing it is. I say this child blessed with Down syndrome. That's what I say. You know, now you can say this student with Down syndrome or this little boy with Down syndrome, but you don't want to say this Down syndrome boy. So people first language is something that's respectful. It's something to know, and you should never, in any type of disability, address someone by their disability first because the person to us means more to us than the disability. And as a matter of fact, I've changed it. And in my book called Down Syndrome, the title is Down Syndrome Blessed with This Ability. So I always put a positive spin on what it is, this ability, because they have this ability to unite people. They have this ability to put a smile on your face. They have this ability to love you when they may not be loved themselves by you. But if you spend time with them, man, I'm going to tell you what, it's powerful, very powerful. Just spend 5 seconds with my little boy, Craig Woodard Jr., and you'll be hooked. I know you guys see the videos. And Deontay, I was just about to tell them too before I brought you on here. Tomorrow's going to be a big day for Craig Jr. and I. I took off work. Junior's going to be out of school. He's playing hooky, but he's got Papa approval to do so. We're being interviewed down at WFLA, which is the NBC affiliate, by Gail Ayardo. She was a former news anchor down here that is now doing Bloom TV. She has a Bloom TV Health Club and a podcast as well, and it's going to run on Wednesday. So we got 2 interviews tomorrow afternoon to talk about Down Syndrome Awareness Month, to talk about the Down Syndrome Association of Tampa Bay, and also my book, Down Syndrome Blessed with Disability. So tomorrow should be fun, and I'll make sure that you get to take a peek at that, man. Cuz, welcome, man. It's been a week, and it seems like it's been a year, man. I miss you.
Listen, man.
Things are heating up. Everyone's been busy, but I'm so glad that you were able to join me. And I know we got a bunch to talk about because we're going to backtrack a little bit. What I wanted to start with is let's go back to the last, I believe it was the city council meeting. I watched correct me if I'm wrong, it was city council, not county, right? Last one?
Last week was county council. On Tuesday, yeah, it was county council.
County council meeting. You had mentioned in your statement about services being withheld from the community. Can you elaborate on that? Because I thought that was an interesting point to bring in front of them, and I want to see where this thing goes because you could really be on to something right now. Talk about that.
Absolutely. And what's interesting is, okay, so they had there was a finance report meeting that they had at, they did it at the Jefferson. I'm not going to call it a town hall, but it was similar to a town hall meeting. So okay. Ron Copeland, he's a finance chair of Erie County. And the county executive, Britton Davis, released the budget. So they sifted through it. So what he did was he held a forum to where he could break down the budget and give his interpretation of it, and then allow people to ask questions and speak to it. So as people were talking, you hear different conversations going around. I kept hearing, this is borderline criminal. Some of the things that is going on. These people aren't receiving money. These people aren't receiving money. So then EJ Fike, he raised his hand and he asked, and that was crazy. It's like it was people raising their hands when it was time to speak. So I raised my hand in the background, and this is what's interesting, like because I've been coming at Rock at those county council meetings. And I got to that meeting late because I was at the event where the governor was at. The governor event was that same day.
Okay.
I was there and I left. Once that was over, I left where the governor was at and I went to the Jefferson. So to get back to that, I asked a question. I said, my question to you is, because you all are going back and forth about this budget and y'all going to court and the funds aren't being released from what you're saying, I asked, are people who are receiving those funds civil rights being violated? And if so, is there an action that we can take? Because the county council has a solicitor as well as a county executive. But as far as we, the people, individuals who receive those services, who are now being withheld of those services, there are some people who they were talking about who receive life-sustaining services from the county, from Erie County, and they oversee human services. Okay. So when I asked that question at the finance meeting, it was like Rock stood. He was like, wow. He was like a pause for a minute. And he's like, well, I'm not an attorney. So, and he kind of talked around it. But long story short, it would cost a lot of money. And we would have to give a civil rights attorney to sue the county or the county council for the sake of Erie. This is kind of what I got from it. Okay. So then somebody else raised their hand and asked the question in a different way. So then at that point, it was like EJ kind of struck it with the way he asked the question. Then I piggyback, and it was 3 other people who asked. But what I realized was that meeting was not an actual public forum. No public record of that meeting. That's not documented and will go down in history as this is what was said. Right. This is what was presented. This is what was asked. Now it will be social media. They recorded it. They streamed it, posted it for the people who were there. Right. As far as official government record,
on the record,
it would not be documented there. Okay. So, and then on top of that, I do not believe that the solicitor for the county was there, and I do not believe that the solicitor for the county executive was there as well. So, there was no attorney to hear, that question be asked because the solicitor can't speak with the permission of the chairperson of the meeting. So I went to the meeting and I asked the same question. I'm asking like, okay. So we have politicians because it's election time. So everybody's coming for everybody. You see, like it was crazy. I just got tagged in a post from one of the candidates who were running, like literally earlier, just a little bit ago. And there's some mess going on with that. But as we're getting closer to the election, like now you see the politicians attacking the other politicians, and you see promises being made, and this person's a bad person, that person's a bad person. So I was mentioning that. I'm like, so while y'all doing all of that, the individuals who aren't running, what are we being withheld from? What information are we being told? And if everybody's so bad, who are we even to pick? Like, who's good? Because it's getting to the point now, and what's crazy is there are only certain people who are speaking as far as what they're going to do for the city and what they have done. And then there are people who are attacking the people who are speaking about the things that they are doing, to where it's just like, who do you really truly believe? Because like at the end of the day, I will say, like, based on what I see on social media and even like in the places that I go, nobody's working harder than Daria. Right. Nobody's working harder than Daria. You know what I mean? Yeah. So you see just everybody attacking. They're not really talking about or considering the people. They're not considering what we have going on. So I'm like, yo, what about us? Like, our you know what I mean? Because you're talking OCY, that's children and youth. Yep. Talking drug and alcohol, you know what I mean? And whatever else they say. I don't want to start speaking of what they do oversee and be wrong, but you're talking adult probation, the courthouse, and stuff like that. So if they have money that is not being spent or not being sent for human services, then that means somebody is not receiving the services that they're supposed to be receiving. There's funds that are already been available for that. And again, this question was completely out of ignorance. So I'm not speaking because I know these things. This is a general question because this is not what I'm hearing. So when I asked the question, again, when we talk about justice, we're not just saying arrest somebody. Treat us right as individuals. And how long have y'all been playing with us for? Because y'all been going back and forth to court trying to sue the county executive, and he's been vetoing stuff since he's been there. Right. So now it's to the point now, like, yo, like, if y'all doing all of this fighting back and forth, like, You know what I mean? Like for anybody who's ever been raised in a household where your parents fight, like the kids always get left out.
Yeah.
So it's like mommy and daddy is fighting, and dinner time then came and left, and we ain't ate in days. So now I'm like, yo, are we being because y'all power tripping and because y'all going back and forth about who is supposed to be doing what and who isn't doing what? Like, are we being
are we starving because of that? Right? Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and so you asking that question and bringing it up during the county council meeting then officially puts that on record, right?
Correct.
There we go. There we go.
Correct.
Well, I would love to see somebody answer some of those questions. You know,
absolutely, me as well. And then so then they did say like, and then I seen Rock posted on Facebook. So I guess because there was one individual who asked a question like, well, do you guys have like a customer service line? So let's say, for instance, people do have complaints about things in the county. Can we report it to keep a record? Because what he was saying was you would have to have a record of that. And right. You as one individual would have a hard time proving that the county executive or the county council is violating your civil rights. But if the community or multiple people were saying that, and you got a class action lawsuit with multiple people, so then the other guy was like, well, hey, what about a hotline so y'all can keep the record? So then if we ever have to subpoena it, and if we hire an attorney, they can say, hey, we want the complaint records. And if it's 1,000 citizens or 25,000 citizens who live in the county who are all saying they're being neglected, then is it a possibility that way? So what I got from that was kind of like they might be onto something, but will they really pursue it? Because it was never no, oh, no, that's crazy, Deontay. Or it was never no, oh, this dude is trying to be greedy or he's just grasping at straws. It was like, oh shit, that's a good question. They might have something there.
So how can we pursue that? How can we keep the pressure on them and let them know that the community knows and wants to know the answers to these questions, and that just because it was brought up at the county council meeting and it's on record now, it doesn't fade away? Do we have to continue to ask that question every single time we have a county council meeting and have multiple people come up and ask the same question to keep that pressure on them? Is that the route to go?
I don't think that would be a bad idea, honestly. And then also I learned from Jared, like, you can ask them questions and they are allowed to answer. The chairperson can speak and the solicitor can speak or answer questions with permission of the chairperson. So like, I do believe that we legitimately need to make it, and that might even help the county within a whole. Like, they might come to a settlement of this budget once they say, okay, now it's not just the county executive versus the county council, but now it's the people of Erie County versus possibly the county executive or the county council or county government within itself, because we the people have a voice and we have a say-so. So I think that we should probably be requesting to have conversations with those solicitors, like both the county executive solicitor and the county council solicitor, to ask, like, well, what are we missing out on because this budget isn't passing? Like, what are we being withheld? What are the services? Who are the people that are being affected and impacted? And it's not necessarily to always just go for a class action lawsuit, but it might legitimately be some people who need some help out there. And it's like, well, because they want to play politics with one another and they want to see who can win a lawsuit or who can keep the money or send the money to their friends or to their favorite organizations. We have people who are going without, and we know who those people are now because they've pinpointed that and they've identified that. So we definitely are allowed to ask that question. We definitely are allowed to have those concerns, and we should have those concerns for anybody who relies on any service that the county government provides. Should have a concern. It's not just about poor people. This is not just about bad kids. This is not just about people on probation or parole. This is about every single person who resides in Erie County who receives some type of service that the county government is to provide. Are they withholding from us? And if they aren't, they should be able to answer that and tell us that, right? Because
absolutely,
they're responsible to us.
No doubt. Well, we need to continue to keep the pressure on them and continue to ask that question until that question is answered. And we know we got meetings to come and meetings to come.
You know who will be there.
Yes, I know you will. I know you will. Hey, listen, I want to get into this a little bit. We're on day 116, right? And I did some digging. Um, so locally and then nationally. Locally, the last major investigation that District Attorney Hertz had was the shooting and death at the Old Granada Apartments in Mill Creek, which occurred on, I believe, May 11th. That was concluded on October 10th, right? So you're looking at a 5-month investigation there, and it was deemed as a justified shooting. That's locally. Nationally, I just out of the blue got up this morning and I'm like, you know what? Let me look at the Sanchez case, which is the first case in the country where a parolee was shot by his parole agent out in Fresno, California. Let me see if I can find some more information on it. And I found some information that basically states that the investigation is ongoing. This shooting happened December 24th last year. I mean, we're 10 months after this shooting happened, and they still have no decision. I go back to a conversation that I had with Andre Horton, and we were talking about the length of time that this has taken. And we're at day 116 right now. And of course, everybody, we want justice. That's what we want. I would love to have had it yesterday, but if it takes a little more time for them to make the correct decision, which is justice for Cello, then I'm okay with them taking a little bit more time. I don't want them to rush it in order to get it wrong. I want them to make sure that they get it right and take the time that they need. With these two cases taking quite some time, the one that's local was slightly different. The one that's national was a lot of the same with some different integral parts there. But it is still ongoing from December 24th of 2024. What is your take on the time frame, hearing the local and the national scenarios that I'm presenting, and then looking where we're at, sitting here on day 116, trying to get justice for our cousin? Give me your thoughts on that.
So honestly, I expected it to take longer than this, like than we are taking. You know what I mean? Yeah. We knew this wasn't going to happen overnight. We knew, like the people who really knew like the magnitude of the situation knew it wasn't going to happen overnight. And the most important thing was to not let it disappear. Right. You know what I mean? The most important thing was to continue to make noise. But throughout the process of this, and I feel like it's important for us to continue, or I'm going to speak for myself.
Okay.
It's important for me to continue to say justice for Cello does not just mean lock this man up.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Because again, there's a reason why he thought that this was okay. Mm-hmm. For anything negative that anybody has to say about Cello, there was a reason for it. Right. For it to happen in the neighborhood that it happened, there is a reason for it. Mm-hmm. For us to be targeted, there is a reason for it. For us to feel like we have to do certain things, there is a reason for it. And the craziest thing is, Erie is so small that nobody's oblivious to why things are the way that they are in Erie. The right. East side of Erie is treated like garbage. You know what I mean? And they only send the only services that we can receive on the east side of Erie is the service of the police to come police our neighborhoods. Mm-hmm. If you ride around the east side of Erie, like it's been construction trucks and they've been redeveloping Erie for the last, I want to say 2.5 ever since they've been built that parking garage for Erie Insurance. Mm. And they've been redeveloping the lower part of Erie, Perry Square. They down there by the water now. They was out there they redoing Mill Creek out there off of not Westlake Road, but off of 6th Street by that plaza where the movie theater used to be.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of redevelopment going on in Erie, but when you look on the east side of town, it's mom and pop shops. People opening up corner stores and candy stores and skill gang lounges and stuff like that. And the people who make decisions see all of this. So when we say we want justice, we want change, we want opportunity. And it's not just gimme, gimme, gimme. There are individuals in my generation, my age of Erie, who I believe can carry the torch or carry and make decisions in the right direction for us to be able to thrive. And we are not being afforded those opportunities. I do not know why, but I
Yeah.
see it. I've been living here my entire life. So when you talk about a process that takes long, when you're saying like going from December to we are now in October, going to November, like I understand that. But in the process of that, what does justice look like for the people who make the decisions? How are they comforting us? How are they consoling in us? How are they reassuring us that this is not going to happen anymore? Like the police are I don't say harassing people. The police have been pulling over people at a higher rate than normal. You know what I mean? I was driving my car the other day. I seen the police had a dude he was on an electric bike. Had the dude had his book bag on the hood just going through his bag. No, I'm not sure what the reason was, but it was on the east side, on Broad Street. Go on the west side, you don't see this type of stuff. So it's like when we ask for justice, and then I'm not going to say I'm glad, but when I shared that, me being at the county council meeting,
Yeah.
prior to that was in May, prior to
Yep.
Cello being shot and killed, like I've been saying, what about the people on the east side? What about us? What about my people? Because I consider Erie my city and the people in it mine, and I don't mean that in a cocky way, but more or less like we all belong to one another. Like, what are we doing to help and build? And it was never about blaming anybody, or it was never about, again, gimme, gimme, gimme. It was more or less like y'all withholding information, which they're doing now with the Cello situation, because we haven't heard from Elizabeth Hurts. And
Not
that's
yet.
another thing. We haven't put we took the pressure off of her.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, because when we put the pressure on her, and then Ben Crump came up here and she released a statement.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then when that video got released of the shooting, she released a statement.
Yeah.
And we kind of left her alone. When Jeremy Leiter had his little advertisement and all of that, like now was an opportunity for a meeting when we ate that up on social media. So yeah, but so the process, to get back to the question as far as like how do I feel about it taking so long? Like I don't feel about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, because I knew it was gonna happen. What my concerns are, what are we gonna do for the people who are struggling, who are starving, who are hungry, who are uneducated, who are misunderstood, who have no opportunity for anything in the process? Like, think about this, right? So even when we talk about justice for Cello, and we talk about justice for people, the Human Relations Commission, the Erie chapter, they trying to close it down. Like, they don't want to fund it. They don't want that running. Again, the Human Relations Committee or Commission. Now, this is the organization that if you're having problems with your employer about race, about discrimination of any of the protected classes, you can go to the Human Relations Commission and maybe seek counsel, get some advice, have them advocate for you to go to the EEOC to push it further, to pursue some type of justice or some type of civil course of action that will benefit both parties and come to some type of settlement or some type of conclusion. Right now, we just now got an executive director for the Human Relations Commission, and we don't even know if we're going to have that department. So we talk about justice, and when people are being treated unfairly and people are being treated poorly, and we can't even go to our HRC to advocate for us, they expect us to be ignorant. They want us to get unruly. They want us to fight so they can lock us up, so they can categorize us, and so they can judge us. So when we talk about justice, we talking about stuff like that, like the Human Relations Commission. Like, why is it that the community centers look the way that they do? Why is it that the police are only hanging out in a certain area or a certain neighborhood? Why is it that, you know what I mean? When you go, why is it so much construction downtown? Why is it that the new Americans can come only to the east side of town and buy up and own the east? Like, if you pay attention to Lucky started on the east side before he started branching west. But he started on the east side. And by all means, power to the people who empower their own. But then if you come up Parade Street, once you hit, I'm gonna say 10th and Parade, because somebody just bought Marty's. It's a lot of new American people who are buying up and owning businesses, from gas stations to grocery stores to vape shops, and you don't see any people who have been living here their entire lives afforded these opportunities or the resources to get these opportunities. And again, I don't just mean handouts, conversations, little nudges. Go talk to that guy, bumps. Like, nobody's looking after the people who live on the east side or the people who have been living in the area forever. And then when one of our people gets shot and killed by somebody who works for the law or works for the government, we still hear nothing. That's the expectation, because that's what's been happening to us traditionally forever, which is why we need to come together and understand what we can do as people. And if it's election and if it's voting, that's where we need to start. I think we need to go that route until they show us that this is not the route, because we've never fully indulged in election. We've never fully indulged in realizing who the candidates are who are speaking for us. We've never fully indulged in what this process means. We've always said, I'm not going that route. But imagine if we all went that route and we picked the candidate and then we held that candidate accountable. Because even after this is over, imagine if we went to those city council meetings 100 deep, like, yo, they ain't taking the trash cans back. Or, yo, all the parks don't look nice. My son want to play basketball on this grass in the crap. So as we the people empower ourselves, then we will understand the power that we have and we can make things happen. So justice won't take so long. It's going to take some time for them to announce guilty or innocent for the murder of Marcella Woodard. We are all aware of that. Nobody's saying she better make a decision tomorrow. She better make a decision right now, because that's not the way things work. But at the end of the day, she still needs to be having some type of interaction with us, because we are the people that she serves. So within the process of that, there are other people who serve us, and they're supposed to be helping us. That's what justice looks like for me. We say at the end of the Pledge of Allegiance,
liberty and justice for all.
That's our country's pledge. So who's all?
Yeah. You know what? I'm okay with the 116 days. I'm okay if it takes longer to get justice. I'm pissed the fuck off that she ain't said nothing to us. That's what I'm pissed about. She hasn't said a word to us. But you hit it on the head. When Crump came, she came out with a statement, right? When the video was posted by the media, she came out with a statement. What is it going to take for us as a community to do to make her open her mouth and come out and talk to us? I mean, if I don't understand how the DA can be as insensitive as to not saying a word to the family in 116 days.
Can I you know what? I have an answer to that question, right?
Yes.
And I guess this is kind of like the segue a little bit, but the answer to that question is, it's going to take for us to come together.
Yeah.
For her to come out and speak to us, because like over the last 2 weeks, over the last 30 days, let's just say the last 30 days.
Yeah.
We as a community have been split, and we have even been trying to make it look and seem like we aren't split or divided. And there are people who are in positions of power who sit back and laugh at that. I've been getting phone calls, because I done got phone calls about me. I done got phone calls about you. I done got phone calls about I don't say me and you because we've seen her, but every single person who's been seeking justice, I've been getting phone calls of like, what's going on? Yeah. So when you got so many people looking at the divisiveness and you see like the mess going on, it's like, man, we ain't taking them clowns serious. Yeah. But again, when we was all marching and stepping together, and you had justice for Cello coming from all angles, I'm talking women, men, children, black, white, Hispanic. We had the sisters of the sisters of St. Joseph. The St. Joseph was with us. The Benedictine sisters was with us. Yeah. You know what I mean? It was people who served on the school board who was coming with us. People who worked for the nonprofit. The Erie Black Wall Street, they wrote an op-ed. The church, they had a town hall meeting. Pastor Gaines had the prayer service. Pastor Cook had something going on. Bishop Brock had an event at his church. When we were all together, we were all like, yo, this is not right. This is not okay. They was like, yo, we better do something. The one night, cuz I be going back. You go on YouTube, the city council meeting, we was all there, was like 3.5 hours long.
Yeah, I saw.
3.5 hours long.
You're 100%
now
right.
I'll be in there, be me and Malcolm, and them joints be boop, boop, boop.
An hour and 5 minutes. Yeah.
So it's like, because we are divided, she probably looking at this like, because think about it, it's like, what do I like explaining myself to my children?
Yeah.
You feel me? Like when your kids is in the back and they just acting crazy, and you just want to, all right, I'm gonna do my job, so I'm gonna let them do their thing, and then they gonna do what I tell them to do when I tell them to. But when it's uniform, it's organized, and it's strategic, people pay attention to that, people listen to that, and they become fearful of that. We are a threat when we are together, and that is all of us. And when I say all of us, I mean every single person who on July 3rd said, this is wrong.
Mm-hmm.
This is not right, and we're gonna do something. And every person who went to every protest meeting from July to the first city council meeting,
Yep.
from that time frame, from the day Cello died up into that first city council, we were so strong together, and they were terrified.
Yeah.
What's going on? Let's talk to those people. Let's go out there, because we was on the news every day.
Yeah.
Somebody was in a news station. Facebook was going crazy. But once we start falling apart and we start dividing, myself included, I'm not pointing no fingers.
Mm-hmm.
Once we start, you, me, him, you, they like, man, look at these fools.
Yep.
Look at these fools. They about to, somebody else gonna die, and they gonna kill one another.
Yeah.
And I feel like they're waiting. They're sitting back, waiting to see me argue with you, or me fight with you, or you fight with me, or me and Mouth, so they can be like, they ain't serious. Yep. What would make her speak up? And what would make her do her job is if we all come together.
Yep.
And we all start saying our concerns as a large group. I believe that our elected officials will listen to us more, and they will understand, and they will support us more. I feel like the clergy people will come back out. I feel like that's how we go about getting national recognition. After 116 days of togetherness, split apart, fighting, taking sides, bashing one another, bad mouthing one another, airing each other's personal dirty mess out. And then let's say tomorrow we all just like, we calling a truce, man, because we want justice for us all.
Yep.
Yeah, be like, hey, yo, what hold on, what happened? I thought he didn't like him because I seen them going back and forth. You know what I mean? I thought she had a problem with her because if you check their Facebook, they was just arguing a week ago. Yep. And now they hanging out together?
Yeah, man.
They be like, oh, we got to do something because listen, cuz.
Yeah.
A lot of people reach out to me and ask me like, what's going on? And it's not just from Erie. It's overwhelming. It feels good because like to know that people can trust me with information or trying to guide and lead me in the right direction. Mm-hmm. And what I will say is people are fearful of what I can say and what you can say and the power that we have. They terrified of Malcolm because he don't speak much, but when he do, he come with heat.
Yeah.
So imagine if all of us was just coming with heat, compassion, and care for our city and for the sake of Marcello and we just did it out of love, man. Like I'm telling you, that's what I think. You know, I'm long-winded. I'm gonna talk all day. That's my answer to your question. What is it gonna take for her to acknowledge us? Yeah. It's gonna take for us to unite, to come back together. And I don't know if it's have one more cookout before the weather change or break, because it's had a Halloween party at the BTWC and they packed that joint out. So maybe that's what we need to do. Maybe we need to just have a lunch for Cello or a breakfast for Cello or a gathering for Cello where we ain't out there picketing, protesting, none of that, but we all just loving on one another and we having a good time and we are again acknowledging his life and appreciating his life and the gifts that he brought to us, and we figure out a way to reunite and come back together and get back on track with seeking justice for Cello. That would terrify everybody who's been watching us.
I agree with you 100%, and we need to make that happen. There's power in numbers. There's always been power in numbers, and from the very first city council meeting when everybody spoke, and it went 3.5 hours, it was incredible. They wanted things to die down. They have died down. There's select few like us that are still pushing the issue, but the attention has not been as great as it once was. If we can put together some type of a Halloween get-together, some type of a cookout or something. No, not
Halloween. Let's leave it out the holidays, and it's going to make it all Cello.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Just to, whatever it is, when we can get everybody under one roof together. And then what we need to do is we need to have peaceful protests at the city council meeting, at the county council meeting, because we get a good draw of people like that. Now, we don't necessarily have to be outside protesting, but that is our way to get people inside to say something. Just go in and say something. Listen, I'm down here. I just want to let you know that 125 days is unacceptable. I want justice for Cello. And then sit down. And we have a whole bunch of people coming up that are saying that. But people got to be dedicated enough. And I know I'm the suggestion. I'm the suggester. And I'm down here in Tampa and I can't participate. But trust and believe if I was up there, I would be doing it. And I'm doing my part down here when I'm saying for everyone else to do this. But you're 100% right. when we had numbers at that first city council meeting, we were powerful and they were scared. And that is what we need to do. And imagine if we get those numbers again and it picks back up and winter is coming and it's getting cold out and we ain't going nowhere, but we're still here in the crowd talking about Justice Ficello. She's got to say something. I would think that she's got to say something. You agree?
Man, listen, I 100% agree. And I'm going to say this again, too. I know I said it a couple of weeks ago. Mm-hmm. We need them strong women who've been holding this thing down.
Man.
We need y'all to tell us, like, I mean, y'all might need to have them individual conversations with whoever it is that y'all think or whatever y'all see, like, y'all feel like we need to do, because them women been solid, bro. I'm talking Shamir, Shamel, Snowy.
Yep.
I'm going to say them three for sure. Mm-hmm. Then we got Mimi. I don't think Mimi got wrapped up in no mess.
Yep, Mimi's good.
It's just been, you know what I mean? We just been rocking out. But the ladies, man, again, I said this the other day, and I got to say it again because I was talking to Shamel and I was talking to Shamir, and I was just telling them both, like, man, y'all strong. Because we, the fellas, we done had our little, and y'all still down there. They show up for everything, even when they don't feel like it. So, like, I'm going to keep saying that. I'm going to make sure I let them know that I appreciate that. And they have been the backbone of the whole movement when things have been falling apart. So if it had not been for those strong women who have been seeking justice for Cello and who've been wanting to do the right thing, we probably wouldn't have made it this far collectively together. So, I mean, even if we can't do it for ourselves and we can't swallow our own pride and get rid of our ego, we at least have to take a look at these ladies and see how they've been able to stay focused and keep their head on track. And I mean, it might sound crazy to some people, but we might need to take the lead of the ladies, man, because they've been coming rock hard, rock solid.
Ain't nothing wrong with that at all. And if there's any ladies that that we would like to have lead this group to get back to unity, the ladies that we're dealing with are the ones that can do it. We know that 100%, man, and we need it to happen because they don't expect it to happen, and the division that we shown is what they expected, and they sat back and watched, and it was comedy for them, and we can't do that anymore. We can't do that any longer, and I refuse to. So it's all about justice for Cello and keeping the main thing. We got election night on November 4th, where we can definitely make some change based on who we put in the office. But before that, on November 2nd, you, my friend, have a town hall meeting that you've worked so hard to put together. Please tell me a little bit about this. I've been waiting to have you on here so that you can have some shine about your town hall meeting, boy. What you got going on?
What's crazy? It's crazy. It's interesting. So I always say, like, I don't work alone. You know what I mean? Like, there's plenty of people behind the scenes, give me ideas, feed me information, and do work for me. I'm just pretty much the face and the mouth of the things that get done. You know what I mean? So for everybody who got my back, who helped me, kudos. But so, like, I have been requesting this and I have been asking this, for the elected officials to do. And then it got to the point where I'm like, election time is coming. And since they can't do it and we still don't know who the candidates are, we should give them an opportunity to come into a room where we are, hear our concerns, and then maybe hang out to talk to us afterwards or kind of figure out some of the things that we can address, because people don't feel comfortable going to city council and county council meetings. And people don't want to talk to politicians only when they showing up for elections. So what I did was, and this is going to be the structure of it. So I'm hopefully, people are paying attention, because, so the structure of it is I reached out to, I want to say like 12 to 14 people to be panelists. And the outlay is I'm going to have a set of professional panelists, and I'm going to have a set of community panelists who I feel can ask questions and have conversations and articulate their words in a manner to where questions can get asked and issues can be addressed. So on the professional panel, what I wanted to do was I wanted to have somebody who could talk about not banking, public safety, politics, law, housing, food. So it was like different categories in the community. So I have a couple, I'm going to read some names because these people confirmed. So as far as a professional panelist, so far I got Jenny Haggerty.
Wait a minute. Can I ask you the question first?
Well, yeah, question.
So you sent invitations out. Who has responded that you're going to have on the panel?
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, well, hold on. Let me go back then to the other layout. So then, what I want to have is I'm gonna have these people introduce themselves
Yeah.
and speak to their respect before they ask any questions, so people can know what to ask, who to ask, what.
Yeah.
And then what I'll have is a community panelist. They're gonna
Okay.
introduce themselves briefly, kind of talk about their concerns, and they'll know who to ask what. And as the conversation goes, maybe somebody in the audience may, hey, I don't know if we're gonna do raise hand, give them the mic, or let them write it down on note cards yet, but
Hmm.
then they can ask respectful questions, but speak freely.
Yeah.
Let's say an attorney, because there will be an attorney present, but say somebody in public safety, say somebody in housing, and we can have this conversation to where it's not a 3-minute desk stare, and it's
Yeah.
3 hours long for that reason intentionally. And then for anybody who decides to stay after, I want everybody who's running to be there.
Yeah.
Republican, Democrat, Independent, write-in, whatever. I want them to be there because this will be an opportunity for them to speak to people who have concerns about Erie.
We did a nice push, man, to get some people registered to vote. That, of course, ended last Monday on the 20th. But I got a lot of feedback from people sending me inbox messages saying, hey, I went down, I registered to vote. I know you probably were reached out by a bunch of people, man, and it takes us pushing things to exert change, man, and it feels good to be a part of that. There's things that we do in the background, man, that people just don't understand how that's going to affect us down the line if something like this were to happen, in the future, putting the right people in place to do the right things that they say they're going to do, because we got people to register to vote that weren't registered before, and now their vote counts, man. That's something really, really big. Circling back, I don't think that a decision with Marcello is going to come before the election at all. It's a political game, unfortunately, and this is what these these folks do. So rest assured, it's going to be a little longer than a couple weeks here because we got the election coming up here on November 4th. But I would assume it's got to be sometime after that. Now, like I said, I would really, really encourage Elizabeth Hertz to come out and at least have some type of a press conference prior to the election.
I hope she comes to the town hall meeting. I hope she does.
That would be great.
I seen Christina Vogel today in church, and I seen Kathy Dahlkemper in church today, and they both said they heard about it.
Okay.
I mean, it was announced at church. I announced it at the county council meeting. I plan on announcing it at the city council meeting. I just shared the link in the comments. It's been getting shared on social media so far. I got 21 people registered to be there.
Nice.
Which is a good number.
Yeah.
I have 10 panelists confirmed. I usually ask me that. So we can,
yeah.
I know that.
10 confirmed. Perfect. Yo,
right.
man, I'm proud of you, man.
So as far as like the professional panelists,
yeah,
I got Jenny Haggerty. She confirmed.
Okay.
She's real big in the housing and stuff like that. So I got Chuck Nelson. Everybody know Chuck, my guy, even though we had our little dispute.
Yeah,
so I got him to come, and I wanted to have him come because I know he's not running for anything. I didn't want to put anybody in a position who was running to get exploited or be put on blast. That's why I want him to be there to talk to people individually.
Right.
So then I got Seth Trott, who he said he'll come.
Okay.
Seth Trott is an attorney, and he sent me his bio. So I got the bios and stuff I released. After this, I'm going to be doing some work on the computer all night trying to get all the flyers and stuff pushed out. Then I got Patrick Herr. He's from the Erie Community Foundation. So they do a lot of like funding and helping with the nonprofit and partnering with different Erie organizations. I have Brian Slawin. He's an investor for the Benjamin Franklin Technology Program up there at Berrien. So he's a money guy. He's an investor. So again, we're talking about opportunities for our community. And then I got Emily Fetko. She's the executive director of the Erie Downtown Partnership. So a lot of different things that happen downtown, like when they do those movies in the park, or when they had an ice rink down there and stuff like that, or even like when they do Erie Days and stuff. Like, a lot of people have asked me, how do I become a vendor for that, or how can I set up something downtown? So I wanted to make sure I had somebody that. And I'm also waiting to hear back from somebody in law enforcement, because I want people to be able to ask police officers, like, what are my rights? What are my responsibilities? What are my duties? What type of conversations can I have? What can I can't ask?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm still waiting to hear back from 2 different people. Somebody to talk about Chris, But the
Okay.
Brian Polito, he said he had something on his schedule. He couldn't come that day, but he did say he would send me some information. So I've spoken to two board members from the Cribs who both said they would send me some information because it was last minute. I spoke to Detective, I think it's Detective Russo or Captain Russo of the Erie Police Department.
Okay.
He told me he had something else going on. I reached out to Brian Barber. He's an officer who knocked doors with me. He told me, and then I talked to Putney today in the gym. So he gave me a name. I was supposed to reach out to this guy as well, but I know this was last minute, so I'm not like putting no pressure on nobody to not show up.
Yeah.
But the goal is for this to not be a one-time thing. I want this to grow and be organic, but grow and build to where we as a community can have conversations of dialogue and gain a better understanding of our rights and responsibilities as citizens, how we can help one another, what opportunities are available for us in Erie, and which ways do we need to go. So the panel, and the reason why I picked those panelists, I was very strategic and intentional about it because these people have a lot of information who a lot of people who look like me or who live in, or not even look like me, who live in our areas don't know.
Yeah.
Or what's available to them. And these people help people in ways that a lot of us don't know. So as the flyers come out, I know people are going to see them like, oh, who is that person? I've never seen that person, never heard that name. And what I'm doing also is introducing my sphere of influence to my connections in the city of Erie so that they can ask questions that they ask me or that they Google as far as what can I do to make Erie a better place and how can I understand better. And then I want the elected officials to come,
Yeah.
and every person who's running so that they can hear the information from the professional panelists,
Yeah.
the questions from the community panelists, as well as the questions from the audience, and engage to see what are the wants and needs. But then I also have my community panelists. I have Savannah Wilson. I don't know if y'all know Savannah, but Savannah spoke at Michael's March. She was down there. She I love the way she talks. She's very passionate. Okay. She shows, you know what I mean? She let people know she ain't playing. I got Marty from the Erie County United. I do not know how to say her last name.
Okay.
I'm not gonna do that. I got my man Brandon Wiley coming from Open Eyes. He's gonna talk. He's got a mental health background. I got Pastor Daryl Cook. He's gonna be one of the community panelists. I got Jared Stajeski. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, but y'all know Jared.
Jared is truth.
Town hall meetings. He be dropping bombs.
Yeah.
And then I had to get my man Malcolm Pulliam on there. So Malcolm gonna be a panelist, and Malcolm gonna be up there asking them questions and dropping that heat. And then I'm waiting for confirmation from a good friend of mine, man. It's a lady. I ain't gonna say her name out there and put her on blast, but when I tell you that she would be there, it would be powerful and exciting. It would be powerful and exciting. But so I'm waiting for 2 confirmations from my community panel. But as of right now, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I have 12 people confirmed to be panelists. So we already know there are going to be 12 people in the room. They're confirmed. And then I'm going to be there. So that's 13 people.
Absolutely.
So even if 13 people can sit in the room and nobody else comes, and we can have a conversation about the betterment of Erie.
Yep.
I mean, I got Black Access Media is going to coverage it, so we're going to have some local media. They got national information, national platforms, local platforms.
Yeah.
Marcus Atkinson said he got that for me, and I'm looking at the. I just switched my screen. I'm looking at the responses right now to see how many people we got who said they would come.
Okay.
And right now, because Jarrett did it. Outside of Jarrett, we have 20 people. Oh no, there's another person who's going to be a panelist. So, oh wow, Mary Rainey's on there. So we have 19 people who have already filled out the link to register to show up.
Yeah.
So right now we're looking at a good 32 people for sure.
Yeah.
Well, I can say for sure. 32 people who register and who confirm that they would be there. So to me, that's a great turnout within itself, especially when we're gonna have, access to the media. We're gonna be able to we're gonna be able to stream it on social media platforms. I hope everybody got their phone out there. Again, this is going to be the first time, so we're going to be figuring out the kinks so we can make it better for the next go around. But when I tell you I'm excited about this, bro, I'm excited. And then the thing is I'm going to be the moderator. So I'm going to have it right. So when people get out of line, I can be like, all right, chill, because it might be some conversations where people are speaking more from passion than from intellect. Yep. And I can be like, all right, okay, hold on. Chill on my guy. Let's give him an opportunity to answer the question as opposed to it being a screaming match. And I'm hoping that people will respect the process and respect the way the program is going to work enough to where if I ask them to chill on what they're saying, they don't think that I'm shutting them down because I'm taking the side, but
Right.
more or less, but because we're trying to have something run smoothly, so we can continue to collaborate with our community, and so we continue to learn and educate and grow with one another. So this is not to be messy. This is not to
Yeah.
put anybody on blast. This is not to come moan, groan, and complain. This is to talk about our concerns, to ask questions to people who might be able to solve them. I mean, answer them, or even be able to give you a resource to get those answers, and we can grow and build together. So, like, this is, man. Listen, man. When I say I'm excited about this, like, I'm excited, man. I'm excited. Like, I really am. I'm excited about this, and I'm glad that people are engaging with it, reaching out.
Yeah.
Pastor Cook shot me out in church today. I wasn't expecting it when he said it. I'm like, okay, I'm taking my flowers. I screen recorded. You know me, my screen record game crazy. Screen recorded, shared on social media. Give me my flowers. I love it. But I'm proud. I will say about. I will publicly and loudly say I'm proud of myself.
I am proud of you too, cuz I really am. I knew if there was anybody that could get this done and get this together, it was you. I could hear the passion a couple months ago with you always asking for a town hall meeting, and you're like, you know what? Y'all won't give me a town hall meeting. I'll develop one myself. So I appreciate that, man. A week from tonight is the town hall meeting, and I'm gonna tell you what, D, we can have a special podcast that night. Usually we go on Sunday nights anyway. If we need to back it up a little bit to give you time to get home, we're going to do that. And then I cannot wait to hear all about your side of things, your perspective, and what your positive takeaways are come next week. And then we got election night on the 4th. So we might come back maybe midweek and do another podcast for you. It'll be episode 44 coming up. But man, if you guys can make it out to Deontay's town hall meeting, please do so next Sunday. It's going to be incredible. Message to the ladies: Jennifer Smith Edwards, Cindy, Michelle, Shamel, Shamir, Mimi, Casey, all y'all ladies, we are handing it over to y'all to run it. Put together something. Get together, put together something, some type of cookout, some type of something to unite the community. The ladies, y'all can unite the community. If you do that, this is going to put pressure on them, and then we have to flood the Erie City Council meeting and the Erie County Council meeting going forward. And if we do that, I think we're going to be doing the right things so that we can get justice for Cello. Thank you guys for tuning in tonight to episode 43 of Etcetera with the Woodards. Make sure you check us out. You can subscribe, share, like, comment.
Hey,
check us out on Facebook. Go ahead, D.
Real quick, for anybody that's watching, I'm gonna go back live here shortly too, man. I gotta, but I'm gonna hop on the live and talk a little bit more, give a little bit more detail. I know we don't want to drown this out too long, but I still got a couple more things to say. We're gonna get it off. And another thing, real quick, I went to go watch Deanna at the marching band event the other day.
Oh yeah. Did she do her thing?
We gotta make sure we acknowledge that. But I wanted to throw that out there before, in just case people were still watching and wanted to hear a little bit more. I got a couple more things I'm gonna discuss. So we're gonna leave a cliffhanger here.
Yeah.
Up on the live, and then we're gonna be ready for the town hall meeting. I'm gonna have some pointers to talk about, cause you might have to when your team got a bye week, or when is it
we had a bye week already.
Thursday and Sunday is football days. We're gonna have to go on like a Tuesday one of these weeks, so we can just let it go. We have to go 3 hours live.
Absolutely.
But yeah, no, man, I appreciate you, cuz as usual, man. And thank you for everybody watching, man. But we gonna rock it.
Absolutely. Hey, stay tuned. Go to Deontay Cooley's page. He's going to be live on Facebook in just a couple minutes. We're going to wrap up episode 43. D, thanks for joining me tonight, man. Love you, bro. Appreciate it. I'm proud of you. And next week's going to be epic, man. Stay tuned for DC. For Deontay Cooley, I'm Craig Woodard. Enjoy your weekend. We'll see you this